Welcome back to the Cossy channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Viktor Gyökeres is still very high up the list of strikers that Arsenal are considering this summer. Although talks are ongoing between Arsenal and RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko, it is still very possible that Arsenal can go out there and sign Viktor Gyökeres this summer. But the possibility of Arsenal signing Viktor Gyökeres means that the Benjamin Sesko deal has to fail, and a couple of other conditions have to happen as well in order for us to sign Viktor Gyökeres over Benjamin Sesko. So in this video, I'm going to let you know what are the conditions that the possibility of signing Viktor Gyökeres this summer could actually happen. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. If you like Viktor Gyökeres and you want Viktor Gyökeres to sign over Sesko, hit the like button. Let's get this video to 300 likes, and you've got to pray, because the possibilities of Sesko not coming and Gyökeres coming are becoming smaller and smaller by the day. But there is still a small chance that Mikel Arteta and Andrea Bata could turn to Viktor Gyökeres, and these are the conditions. Number one, if the deal for Benjamin Sesko becomes a little bit too expensive for Arsenal. Now, as it was reported by Sky Sports German, Florian Plettenberg was talking about this deal, and he said it is yet to be known if Arsenal are really going to be able to afford the full financial package of Benjamin Sesko, which is over 80 million euros. Now, when we talk about 80 million euros, that doesn't include agent fees, and that doesn't include, the wages of the player. So if you think about 80 million euros for a player like Benjamin Sesko, 21, yes, he's got a very good ceiling. He's got a very bright future, and Arsenal believe in it as well. But the financial package might be a little bit too much. And I really believe that RB Leipzig want to negotiate around the price, according to Sky Sports German. So if this lad is going to cost 80 million euros, and Arsenal are maybe, I'm just saying, maybe Arsenal are not willing to pay 80 million euros, then we might have to look at the next alternative, and that is Benjamin Sesko, and that is Viktor Gyökeres. And the good thing about this Viktor Gyökeres deal is Arsenal would then have to save about 20 million euros or 15 million euros on Viktor Gyökeres. But the moment Arsenal went in for Benjamin Sesko, it means they have got the budget. It means they've got the money to fund an 80 million euro deal. But we're still waiting to see whether Arsenal are going to bid as high as 80 million euros. And if they're going to bid as high as 80 million euros, what is the structure? We're going to be talking about the structure of that deal as well. But if it's too expensive, if it proves too expensive, if RB Leipzig are not willing to come down a little bit on that 80 million euros or something above that, then I can see Viktor Gyökeres become a real possibility once again on the transfer radar. Now, the second condition that has to happen is if the Sesko deal gets hijacked. Okay, now, obviously, this can happen. Remember the Mykhailo Mudryk deal? Arsenal was so sure we were going to sign Mykhailo Mudryk, and a deal was on, right? Arsenal had made a bid. We had gone with the second bid, but Chelsea, out of nowhere, came in and they signed Mykhailo Mudryk. And I tell you, Arsenal dodged a bullet when it came to Mykhailo Mudryk. I don't know, there's so many players that Arsenal have not signed and we have dodged a bullet, like the likes of Rasmus Hojlund, the likes of Marcus Rashford, but with Mykhailo Mudryk, Arsenal really dodged a bullet. So if anyone comes in and hijacks our deal for Benjamin Sesko, again, Arsenal is a team that we know are not interested in going in for bidding wars. I don't think Arsenal are going to, bid 90 million euros for Sesko, because another club has come in and bid, let's say, 80 million euros or 75. So if there is a bidding war, if someone comes in and offers more money to RB Leipzig and offers more money to Benjamin Sesko, there's a big possibility that Arsenal actually go to the next target, and that is Viktor Gyökeres. But at the moment, I can say that I don't see a lot of interest that is concrete in Benjamin Sesko. Like, Chelsea are really crazy about Liam Delap. They have signed him, and they're now looking to sign Hugo Ekitike. Viktor Gyökeres, I think it's Manchester United that is really interested. I'm not hearing a lot of clubs crazy about Benjamin Sesko, and that is because strikers these days are being signed because of their CV and not because of what they could become. So again, the possibility of someone hijacking the Sesko deal to Arsenal looks a little bit slim, but it can happen. The third condition, and this is key, is the payment structure. Now, Arsenal might as well have the money, like 80 million euros. We might have the money. We might agree to pay 80 million euros to RB Leipzig. But what if RB Leipzig do not agree to the payment structure and the mode of payment that Arsenal want? Obviously, they're open to best payments. They're open to add-ons. They're open to bonuses, and they're also open to a couple of other clauses, right? Like if the player gets into the UEFA Champions League, if you win the Champions League and all that. They're very, very open to that. But Arsenal have a lot of work to do this summer. You've got a striker to sign. You've got a left winger to sign. You've got Martin Zubimendi coming in, that is money spent. And you've got a defender and a new goalkeeper and a couple of other areas to reinforce. So that means that although Arsenal might have a big budget to work with, let's say 170, 180, or even 200 million, you just can't spend 80 at once. So there's going to be a payment structure. Arsenal are going to try and pay as little in installments as possible in order for us to cover all the areas that we want to cover this summer. That's what we've done with the Martin Zubimendi deal. And that is why that deal has actually become very, very easy for Arsenal, because Real Sociedad said, listen, we've got a very good working relationship with you guys. You can give us installments. You can pay the 60 million euros in installments. And that allowed us to get the deal done quickly, but also it allows us to sign other players. It allows us to do other deals in the transfer market. So if the payment terms cannot be agreed, if a structure cannot be agreed between Arsenal and Leipzig, again, Arsenal would be happy to walk away because we've got a very, very good second choice in Viktor Gyökeres. So that is the other way Arsenal sign Viktor Gyökeres. The other way it would be in terms of wages and also the overall package that the player wants, in terms of personal terms. But I don't think Benjamin Sesko at 21 is going to ask for more money than Viktor Gyökeres. But nevertheless, it is still a very big possibility. I mean, we have seen it with Rodrigo this summer, and you have seen it with Nico Williams. Arsenal are still very hesitant about signing Rodrigo and signing Nico Williams because of the wage demands. Nico is asking for 200k and above, and Rodrigo is asking for in excess of 280,000 and above. So if you think about those two players, the problem is wages. Arsenal are unwilling to commit to very big wages when it comes to these players. So if there is a possibility that there's a crazy demand of wages from Benjamin Sesko, and then Arsenal are like, no, we are not giving you, let's say, 200k, but I doubt he's going to earn 200k. I think he's going to earn like maybe 150, 160, 140 for the start. Again, in terms of wages, this is still a much better deal for Arsenal, as we don't want to commit to a lot of wages right at the moment. Okay, now that is if the Benjamin Sesko deal gets sabotaged. But what if the Viktor Gyökeres deal was to become better? Because one of the reasons as to why, again, you've got to support Arsenal and Mikelata and Andre Bata in this. They have a summer where they have to sign many players, and they've got to watch the wage bill. It's becoming a little bit crazy and uncontrollable. It's spiraling out of control, right? So if Gyökeres is a more expensive deal generally, and Sesko, despite the fact that Sesko is 80 million euros, would be a cheaper deal, then you've got to go and do the Sesko deal. And by the way, let me explain. Gyökeres could cost 65 million euros, but then end up being more expensive as a deal than Benjamin Sesko, right? This is how it works. So when there is something called player contract amortization, and with player contract amortization, what you're having is the overall package of the deal is calculated within within the player's contract period. So let's say you sign Benjamin Sesko on a contract of 5 years. Initially, what you're gonna have is 80 million euros, right? Across those 5 years. So you have 80 million euros. But then you have you also have the salary and package of the player. Let's say you're gonna pay him 10 million euros per year. That is 50 million euros in 5 years, and that adds up to the 80, making it 130 million euros. And then you have agent fees. Let's say you're paying 5 million to the agent, and that makes it 135. So the overall deal then becomes worth 135 million. The Viktor Gyökeres deal could be more expensive. Why? You're paying 65 million euros to Sporting. That is all right. But if the player is going to be earning 12 million, let's say, that is 60 million euros in 5 years. So 60 million euros plus 65, that is 125. Now you have the agent also asking for a lot of money. Let's say it's asking for 10 million. Then that becomes 135 million euros. And then, you have clearing and everything. The deal could end in 140 million euros. So Arsenal looking at these two deals and saying, whichever is a little bit cheaper and whichever is a little bit favorable is what we are actually going to do. Now, what are the conditions of the Viktor Gyökeres deal that might persuade Arsenal into signing him over Benjamin Sesko? Number one, and this must happen, right? If the deal becomes cheaper than it already is. This is unlikely to happen, and this is me being very optimistic because I like Viktor Gyökeres. But at 65 million euros or 60 million euros, Sporting have really done enough. They have really gone from 100 million euros to 60 million euros. They have slashed 40 million euros for no reason. They have one of the best strikers in the world. The guy has scored goals consistently for 2 years. He has won titles with them. There is no reason as to why they've got to cut the price from 100 to 60 million euros. So I don't think anyone is going to push them into selling at a lower price than that. The only way they sell at a lower price than that, the only way we get to see this deal drop much further is if maybe Arsenal sign someone, Manchester United get someone, and there is no competition for Viktor Gyökeres, and they are really in need of cash. But at the moment, I don't see this deal become cheaper than it already is. It's already very cheap. It's already very, very cheap. But that is the first condition, right? The second condition is this. His agent reduces the crazy agent fees he's asking for. Like, I understand that as the agent of the player, this is his chance to make very good money, right? But asking for 10 million and above just in agent fees is crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. He's actually blocking the opportunity of the player. He's blocking his own player from going to a club that really likes him, a sporting director that really believes in him, has scouted him for quite some time. But the agent fees are crazy. They are absolutely crazy. So they've got to reduce that significantly from like 12 million they're demanding to about 5 or 4 million, right? And I think the reason that's why they're doing that is they're looking around and they're saying Barcelona can give us this money. They're saying Chelsea can give us this money. They're looking at a couple of other clubs and they're like, even if Arsenal don't do this deal, someone else is gonna come in and do it. And yes, it's true. Someone else can come in and send Viktor Gyökeres with those crazy, agent fees. And then the wages of the player have to come down as well. I'm sorry, 12 million net per year. That is what that is more than what Rodrigo is asking for at Arsenal. This guy is earning like what, 40k per week. He wants to go to 240k. It is not bad, but come on, be realistic. Be realistic. Is anyone gonna give you 250k right now at Arsenal? No. So the wages and the wage demands for Viktor Gyökeres have to come down as well. And of course, I'm not supporting Arsenal. I'm telling you, Arsenal must know for you to get top players, you're gonna pay top dollar. But for me, at I think 170, 180,000 should do the deal for Viktor Gyökeres in terms of the player wages as well. Okay, and then I think the other two conditions are if the Benjamin Sesko deal stalls, if the Benjamin Sesko deal becomes takes too long to get finished, because at the moment Mikel Arteta and Andre Bata want a quick resolution on the striker situation. So if this deal stalls and takes a lot of time, Arsenal might actually get frustrated and walk away. And finally, if Arteta stops thinking about the striker in terms of who is better suited to play with Kai Havertz, and then we start thinking about who is a much better player to win us games and score us more goals. If we start thinking about it in that way, then 100% the Viktor Gyökeres deal could still happen.